poem that we have written ourselves, and then one from a Black poet. Except, Linda here is a poet, so Lenora is going to read one of Linda's. So, makes it nice. All right. My first poem, oh boy, here we go, is, oh, sorry. After Sonia's song, I'm a mess. We're good. Okay. My first poem is dedicated to Camay. It is written by Joy Carjo. She is a Muscogee tribal member in Oklahoma. It is called First Morning. This is the first morning we are without you on earth. The sun greeted us after a week of rain in your eastern green and mountain homelands. Plants are fed, the rivers are restored, and you have been woven into a path of embracing stars of all colors. Now, free of all the suffering that shapes us here, we all learn to let go, like learning how to walk when we first arrived here. All those you thought you lost now circle you. And you are free of pain and heartbreak. Don't look back. Keep going. We will carry your memory here until we join you in just a little while, in one blink of a star time.
All right, so I was asked to read a poem by Nikki Giovanni, and my name is Nikki Polinsky. So, I'm a busy mom of 4 sons, so I'm sorry if I'm not able to read this by memory like some of the amazing people here. But this is called Ego Tripping, and there may be a reason why. I was born in the Congo. I walked to the Fertile Crescent and built the Sphinx. I designed a pyramid so tough that a star that only glows every 100 years falls into the center, giving divine perfect light. I am bad. I sat on the throne drinking nectar with Allah. I got hot and sent an ice age to Europe to cool my thirst. My oldest daughter is Nefertiti. The tears from my birth pains created the Nile. I am a beautiful woman. I gazed on the forest and burned out the Sahara Desert with a packet of goat's meat and a change of clothes. I crossed it in 2 hours. I am a gazelle, so swift, you can't touch me. For a birthday present when he was 3, I gave my son Hannibal an elephant. He gave me a roan for Mother's Day. My strength flows ever on. My son Noah built a new ark, and I stood proudly at the helm as we sailed on a soft summer day. I turned myself into myself and was Jesus. Men intone my loving name, all praises, I am the one who would save. I sewed diamonds in my backyard, my bowels delivered uranium, the fillings from my fingernails are semi-precious jewels on a trip north. I caught a cold and blew my nose giving to the Arab world. I am so hip, even my errors are correct. I sailed west to reach east and had to round off the earth as I went. The hair from my head thinned and gold was laid across 3 continents. I am so perfect, so divine, so ethereal, so surreal. I cannot be comprehended except by my permission. I mean, I can fly like a bird in the sky.
Good afternoon to everyone. Before I get into the poetry that was written by Miss Linda Towns, I would like to say this about Miss Camay Murphy. We're in a church, her church, and I spoke to someone just a few minutes ago, is that we want to be able to celebrate this every year. We'd like to make this an annual event. The struggle's not over. We're getting ready to go into another chapter right now.
That's right.
And as African American people, we always had our meetings in the church.
That's right.
We communicated in music, in voice. So today, in honor of Ms. Camay, I say thank you, Bill and Galen, for this opportunity. Promises, promises, promises. He came virtually out of nowhere and said, I want all of your love. And he told me that he loves me. And I'm all that he thinks of. At first, I did not trust him. It took me quite a while. He said he'd take me anywhere, and he'd go that extra mile. He promised to give me my love, my each and every need, clothing, food, and shelter, if to him I would concede. He said I want for nothing. All I had to do was ask. And I'm in rapture, peace, and joy alone. I would forever last. Said he'd never leave me and he'd always be by my side. He'd hold my hand and walk with me and wipe the tears I cried. He promised to protect me, to keep me safe and secure, for love only and nothing else. His demeanor is the mirror. He promised to give me anything, even the day and the night, and all he wanted in return was my love with all my might. Said nothing was too good for me, not the stars, the moon, or anything. And he'd give me the planet, Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, and Mars. Said I could have the time of day, every moment of all 7. He said if I loved and trusted him, that he would give me heaven. He pointed to the universe and said it could be done. He said it could be mine, and all he owns he'd give to me. If my love I would resign. All the promises he made to me, at first all sounded odd. Until that day I looked at him and said to him, my God, author today, Linda Towns, please stand.
Hello, how are you? I picked Amanda Gorman's inaugural poem, The No Me Climb. I thought it was just really powerful and beautiful, and this beautiful poem that spoke truth and positivity was banned in Florida, I found out. And I was definitely, I was like, I'm definitely reading it. All right. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We brave the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what just isn't always just this. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country in a time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gaze not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew. That even as we hurt, we hoped. That even as we tired, we tried. That we'll forever be tied together victorious. Not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we were to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all bridges we've made. That is the promise to glade the hill we climb if only we dare. It's because being an American is more than pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our union rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be heirs of such terrifying hour. But within we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be. A country that is bruised, but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inactions and our inertia will be the inheritance of our next generation, become the future. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain. If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and changes our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. Every breath from our bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the golden hills of the west. We will rise from the windswept northeast where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-brown cities of the Midwestern states, and we will rise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, we will reconcile, and we will recover. And every nook of our nation, and every corner called our country, our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade of flame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light. If only we were brave enough to see it. If we were only brave enough to be it. Thank you.
my three-time great-grandmother's name as a pseudonym. She was born in slavery, and the reason why I started using her name is because she died accidentally by a gunshot, and it was just something I think was just destined to happen. So I use her name, like I say, as a pseudonym, and that's the name that's written on the bottom of this poem. A lot of times I don't use Linda Towns because I want to honor my three-time great-grandmother. And this one is called Remembering. Remembering that special someone is quite easy, but sometimes it can still really, really hurt. We mustn't forget the good Lord loaned them to us for only a short while, as the Holy Word does assert. The fondest memories always seem to surface whenever we need them the most, and happy thoughts will flood your mind and heart. Your loved one's legacy host. Try to think only of happy times that make you feel joyfully happy and smile. Concentrating only on the funny, feel-good times, feeling their love too, all the while. Memories make life worth living, and they serve to keep our special loved ones alive. So rejoice in the thought that one day you will be happily reunited, the day when you arrive. Just think, one day you will see your loved ones again, united in God's peaceful paradise. Everyone will be whole again, without sickness or pain, not a care in the world. Now, isn't that nice? But most of all, just remember, love really does last forever. It's eternal. Love never, ever, ever dies. So live happily within your heartfelt memories. Smile and laugh through your tear-filled eyes. Thank you.
This is my own poem. It's called American Tapestry. We are all immigrants, foreigners to this place. Our ancestors came from many continents, quite far away. Most arrived excited with hopeful hearts voluntarily, but multitudes were brought here through force and brutality. Some left behind the mountains of Olympus and Sappho, while others were dragged here from villages of Osiris and the Griot. Natives were captured, frightened, tortured, abused. Shiploads of hungry, sick, and confused. They found themselves in a strange, rough new land, while still clutching the traditions of their forefathers in each hand. Forced into labor, enduring unbridled cruelty, they stayed strong as possible to survive this brutality. As families were torn apart, left in anguish, spirits were broken, their worth diminished. Looking for comfort in the company of each other, glimpses perhaps of a faraway, remembered brother, through song, faith, and positive energy, their spirits formed a creative synergy. So working together to ensure survival as brave angels led them to escape and revival. With the collectors of cultures and tellers of stories, they hoped their descendants would share in their glory. Energies moved goals to fruition, creating their truth through guts and ambition. Their knowledge and conduct led us upward, so right and wrong would not be blurred. each soul a thread, a fiber entwined, weaving a tapestry of hearts and mind, stitches of love, hope, and compassion, putting empathy behind each forward action. Now it is our job, our responsibility, to further their efforts beyond just a possibility. We are all immigrants with a refined commonality to keep our ancestors' dream alive, not really a reality.
All right.
Hi, guys, again. So thank you to Marcia and to Jenny for, I am not really great when it comes to sharing my own stuff, but this obviously has to do with Black History Month. It's obviously a privilege to do this. So this one is by me, and it's called Exception to the Rule. Privilege is a thing, but I'm no one's statistic. I live my life my way just to keep it realistic. I've gotten every job I wanted, boss lady, for 19 years. Despite color, always excelling ahead of my peers. Few of many in my AP and honor roll classes. I didn't let the man determine who I was going to be, never blending with the masses. As a teen mom, they thought I would fail, but success after success, my life continues to prevail. Mental illness postpartum was supposed to hold me down. Instead, I wrote a book about it while adjusting my crown. Divorce failed relationships, I was supposed to lose it all. On the contrary, I excelled, refusing to let a man be my downfall. Mom's baby, dad, CEO lady, I'm blessed not to brag or boast. Black, white, yellow, I've been spoiled way more than most. A mother of 4 sons, I refuse to let color determine who I will be or who I am. I get what I deserve from my ancestors. It's not me, it's God's plan. Dark skin pretty, bet against me, I pity the fool. A queen uprising, I'll always be my own exception to the rule.
My poem is called The Rise of Courage, and I have to admit, in these times it was hard to write something positive and inspirational and not as dark and angry. But what I did is I tried to think of us as warriors going into war, but conquering the darkness. I tried. All right, The Rise of Courage. Emerging from the depths of thick oil, strength forms resilient hearts, carved, exposing a guiding star. Black power surges, dispelling darkness. Conquering the gloom through trials endured, our spirit triumphs like our mighty rivers carrying a legacy of courage. Secrets from warriors preserved from chains of sorrow, strength is a lotus bloom. Though the haunting trails may lead to boulders and dense forests, freedom shines, illuminating each of our hearts with our ancestors' call. Testament to the warriors, I whisper, I promise. Black power rises, vanquishing the fog. The echoes of cries and celebration, my ancestors, my black and brown brothers and sisters, drum to my heartbeat to a symphony of voices. From the chain of sorrow, strength blossoms, black power rises, conquering the gloom. Thank you.
So I am going to end this with a poem by Nathaniel Richardson.
Who?
It is called Seamstress. There are threads of our wisdom woven into our poetry, making the fabric stronger than corduroy. In the house, you ran like a well-oiled sewing machine. You stitched ripped jeans, torn flesh, threaded hope eye of the needle. And it was on your ironing board we learned how to keep on pressing until the rough times got smooth. Who but you could have taken a patchwork of little ragged souls and turned us into a colorful family quilt? Who but you could have fashioned us into models of character, dignified, while other styles trended, came, and went? It was you, Mama. It was you, Grandma. It was you, Auntie, sister, friend. It was you, the seamstress.
Yeah.
I want to thank my ladies again. Thank you so much. Next we have something for the break.
So, Frank, what do you think?
What's that?
You put on quite a show, don't you?
Yes, yes. Amazing.
And now Sonia's going to sing us a beer drinking song.
Yeah.